right, first thing I want to show you are the wheels that were donated. These are North Star aluminum wheels. Buytruckwheels.com. I'm going to put a link in the description for their company. They donated these wheels. We have a little bit of a issue on, not with the wheels, but with the truck. The Marvin Harrington axle has some really long wheel studs, and we have to put new ones in because the aluminum wheels are thicker. Marvin Harrington has a specific wheel stud for aluminum wheels. They're sending us one hopefully in the next week or so, and we'll try to swap them out on the truck. We're really hoping we don't have to pull the hub to swap those studs out. But these wheels are just awesome. They're beautiful, really high quality. These are 22.5 by 12.25, and we're super excited to run these with our future super singles. So they donated 4 of these. Fast also donated and or gave us a sponsorship discount on their lift pump. This is their industrial lift pump used on semi trucks and stuff like that. So this is going to be used to supply the VP44. Really thankful for their support because that's going to be super crucial to keep our motor running reliably, if I could talk. And then also we got ISS Pro. Haven't unboxed these yet. We're going to install the lift pump first, along with our new Steed Speed exhaust manifold that's coming in the mail in the next week or so. They also donated a 100% billet TIG welded exhaust manifold to fix our leak on the 5.9. And so once the lift pump goes in and the exhaust manifold goes in, we'll then install the ISS Pro gauges. Really excited about that, and it's going to be a huge help. Also some other cool stuff we got going. We did pick up some Oracle headlights to swap out the old halogens. So here's the heater core, or the heater valve rather, that we're going to replace. See, I got to weld up some of the bracketry here that was cut and bent flush inside the truck. So we're going to get that taken care of today, and all of our HVAC controls will be back to factory spec, which I'm really excited about. So yeah, that's kind of what's on the plan for today. Like I said, these wheels are going to be awesome, and the lift pump is going to be great. Those are things we're going to tackle here in the next couple of weeks. Once that stud comes in, we'll do a whole new video on trying to swap those studs out on the truck with a Marvin Harrington axle. The rear shouldn't be that bad. It should be like a normal semi. But the Marvin Harrington has a planetary gear reduction at the hub. It's a really thick hub, so things are kind of different there. But yeah, let's go ahead and get started on this heater valve, and that'll probably finish this out for the day. All right, what's going on, guys? Warren with Sirens Project. We're going to do a little build update on the PUG truck. So this is part 2. We've gotten a decent bit of stuff done here on the truck. We've done the heater valve. We had to replace that and free all the cables. So we have 3 climate control cables from the cab to the engine bay, and basically those were frozen from the truck sitting a little while. This truck only has 7,800 miles for 2003, so you know that does come with some consequences, right, for a truck sitting for a little while. So the cables were frozen. We got 2 of the 3 unfrozen by just pumping the cables from the cab full of PB blaster, worked them free. The 3rd one we actually had to remove and put on the vise and take care of that. But we were able to free all of them, get them all hooked back up. Climate control's working good now, and we also got the heater valve done at the same time. Right now we're working on some headlights. We got Oracle Oculus Buy LEDs. They did not sponsor this video, this truck build, or anything like that. Just wanted something that looked kind of classic but with a modern flair, and so those fit the bill. They were also on sale, and that's what we're going to talk a little bit more about today. To install these LED headlights, we either had to modify both buckets, the inner and outer, for these 7-inch LEDs to work, or find a bucket that would work off the shelf. And we went ahead and modified our buckets and actually got them installed, but I accidentally stumbled upon a manufacturer that has aftermarket buckets for the Freightliner Century semi-truck, which also runs 7-inch LEDs, and a lot of the parts on this truck, it's a Sterling, but a lot of the parts are Ford and Freightliner as well. And so thankfully the Freightliner Century bucket that fits all the aftermarket LED projector headlights and sealed beam lights fit this truck. And so we were able to purchase those mounts, those buckets, and everything's working seamlessly. It looks factory. Really excited about that. So I'm gonna show you a little bit what we got going on. Oracle Oculus 7-inch. See what we got going on in here. All right, so this is our wiring harness for the fuse tap if we want to run halos with 12 volt ignition power. Just so when the truck comes on, the halos come on. These do look really nice, so I'm hoping they last a good long while. I've heard some pretty good reviews about them, so we're definitely gonna give them a shot. See if I can do this with one hand here. So yeah, I'm gonna get this taken apart, and then we'll see what we're gonna do moving forward. Workshop's a little messy. All right, so here's an Oracle Oculus inside of the Century bucket, and so this is super nice. It's hard to do this with one hand. So this is super nice. I'll get my fingerprints all over the polycarbonate. So there is the light, and here's the bucket. This bucket is made by United Pacific, and this fits all 7-inch sealed LEDs for a Freightliner that runs that style light. I'm going to put a link in the description for that bucket just in case that helps somebody out in the future. But this is going to be super simple. The light's going to go in, the trim ring's going to go in, and then we're going to install this bucket all together on the truck and then hook everything up. And I'll show you guys what the lights look like. I'll also show you kind of how we ran the wiring and everything like that. And then where we tapped into the fuse box on this Sterling SC8000. So far, this has been a super simple project, and we're really happy with how everything's turned out. So let's see what these headlights look like. All right, so we got the Oracle installed into the bucket with a trim ring. I went ahead and reused the OEM Torx bit stainless hardware over the kind of painted hardware, black painted hardware that came with the kit. I like the stainless look a little bit more, and it's a lot more corrosion resistant than what came with the kit. So now what we gotta do is throw this bucket on the truck, hook everything up, and we'll see what it looks like. All right, so the wiring on this is super simple. Oracle sends you a harness already, and it's kind of a Y harness to tie the two lights in. So we have the daytime running light for the halos here, and we just kind of run it around, just find existing loom to tie into as far as zip ties go. And so we just ran it from the driver's side over. And then here's the Y. Use some Tessa tape to hold the sheathing on, and then that goes to the other light. And then that Y harness just goes through the pass-through here into the firewall. There's a lot of firewall pass-throughs on this truck, which makes things super easy, and on the fuse box side, which is even better. And so super simple. And then there's the fuse box, and it comes with a fuse tap, which we used. There's the fuse tap, just kind of zip tied everything, and then put the negative on a ground terminal there. We tapped into the hazard lights, which is a 12 volt ignition, 12 volt hot when the ignition is on. So once the truck gets turned on, these halos light up for daytime running lights. So everything was super simple, and yeah, really straightforward. Super happy about that. Thank you guys so much for tuning in to part 2 of the PUG build. I know it looks like my facial hair probably gets longer with like every cut, because we just haven't had a ton of time to work on this thing. So it's been over the course of several weeks. I just want to give another shout out to everybody who sponsored this build so far: BuyTruckWheels.com, FAS, ISS Pro, and Steed Speed. They've been awesome throughout this whole process, and without them, this build really wouldn't be possible for us. So we're super excited about that. We got some really cool things coming up. We did determine that we need to remove the hubs to swap the studs out for the aluminum wheels for our future super single tires. So that's gonna be a whole video on pulling the hubs on the MT14 axle. We also had to design a custom socket to remove the spindle nut. So we're gonna go into a little bit of the design and everything that we're doing on the back end to make that possible. We've also 3D printed some custom parts for this truck as well. So yeah, stay tuned to part 3 because it's gonna be really exciting. All right guys, thank you so much, and we'll see you soon.